Hello, besties. This is the podcast Best for Me, validating narcissist abuse survivors and daughters with narcissist mothers and anyone who has been in a narcissist relationship or has been emotionally abused. I'm Shayla, and the narcissist in my life is my mother. This is a very personal episode, but I wanted to share my experience. In case you didn't know, this month we recognize child abuse prevention. So if you see blue ribbons or blue pinwheels, they are symbols representing the happiness that children are supposed to feel. If you have read my book, you know that I was abused as a child. My ebook, You're Not My Mother, You're a Narcissist, is available on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, or anywhere you like to get your ebooks. The book is also available in audio format on Apple Books, so you can listen to the book and read it. I really didn't know I was being abused as a child. I just thought I had a mean, heartless mother who didn't love me. Shout out to all the listeners who have a mean mother. I didn't know what a narcissist was until I was in my 40s. I just thought a narcissist was someone who was vain, someone obsessed with their appearance. I know now it's a whole lot deeper than that. The thing about narcissist abuse by a parent is the abuse continues even after the child has left home and has become an adult. In one of my previous episodes, I read a chapter from the book. The chapter I read dealt with the time I stayed all night at Gallatin High School in Gallatin, Tennessee, because I didn't want to go home. During my childhood, my mother was physically abusive and would sometimes send me to school with red marks on my face. My mother's verbal abuse hit a lot harder, and the effects are long-lasting. I remember when I was in the first grade, she sent me to school hungry, and I remember crying uncontrollably. My classmates felt so sorry for me, they began going into their lunch boxes to give me something from their lunch for me to eat. I'll never forget the care and concern shown by my first grade classmates. Children hate to see another child cry. Children caring for another child is a beautiful thing. My teacher sent me to the school cafeteria with money to get crackers and milk, and I sat there alone eating in the cafeteria because it was not lunchtime. It was the beginning of the school day. I was neglected in every way, not having my needs met as a child, and it got worse when I became a teen. My mother resented any independence. She would say, "You think you are so independent. I will take the soap and the deodorant away from you." There was an incident when I was 13 and on my menstruation cycle. My mother made me pull down my pants so she could see if I was wearing one of her sanitary pads. I actually was wearing one of her pads and was so afraid she was going to let me bleed on myself and through my clothes when she saw that I was wearing one of her pads. When I let her see the partially bloody pad, she let me off the hook. I had just put the pad on, so it had not filled up. My mother also kept me and my brother isolated. When people would come by to visit, my mother wouldn't answer the door, and my brother and I were not allowed to answer the door. When people would call, we were told not to answer the phone. You see, if someone would call and my brother or I would answer the phone, of course the caller would ask, "Where is your mama?" So when they asked, we would tell whoever was calling that our mother was asleep. My mother did not like us telling people that she was asleep in the middle of the day. Sleeping in the middle of the day made her look like a bad mother, and the narcissist will fight to maintain their false image by any means necessary. Remember how I said the narcissist needs to control the narrative and protect their image? When I wrote my ebook, You're Not My Mother, You're a Narcissist, I divided it into sections to cover the abuse I experienced in my childhood, and then I detail how the abuse continued into my adult life after I had left home and later got married and had a child. I would love for you to get the ebook. It would be a great therapeutic help to me. My mother has always suppressed the mistreatment she has caused me, wanting people to believe she is a good mom. Get my book so you can see what kind of mother she truly was and still is. The ebook is available on all the major platforms where you purchase your ebooks, including Amazon. And if you are interested in listening to the story as opposed to reading, the audiobook is available on Apple Books. For Child Abuse Prevention Month, it is available for $5.99, and the audiobook is $9.99. The book is not only a memoir about my experiences having a toxic and dysfunctional family, but it is also a valuable resource with references from expert psychologists and therapists specializing in narcissist personality disorder. I would also say, if you are a true crime fan, you will likely have interest in my book. I love true crime, and I've followed a lot of cases involving children who have been abused, abducted, or even killed. So if that interests you, you'll want to read this book. Anyone with a narcissist parent, a toxic and dysfunctional family, or any abusive narcissist relationship will find You're Not My Mother, You're a Narcissist an interesting read. I put the link into the episode description, and your purchase would be a big help to me and support the show. Both the audio and ebook can be purchased together for $15.98. But remember, the audio is only available on Apple Books. But you can get the ebook anywhere you purchase your ebooks, including Apple Books. Thank you so much for listening to me. It makes me feel validated. I want you to have your best day being you. But I'd also like to add, show love to a child. This is Child Abuse Prevention Month. This is Best for Me, and I'm Shayla.